Hello everyone! Welcome back to Make English Easy. My name is Hazel and I'm truly delighted that you've joined me here on my YouTube channel called Make English Easy. This channel is my way of reaching out to people just like you. People who dream of speaking English comfortably, confidently, and naturally, but who sometimes feel overwhelmed by traditional learning methods. I want to make English feel simple, approachable, and even enjoyable. No matter if you're just starting out and every word feels new, or if you already understand quite a bit but find it hard to get the words out when you need to speak, this space is created especially for you. I promise to speak slowly, clearly, and with lots of kindness. We will go at a pace that feels right for you, repeating things as many times as needed so everything settles comfortably in your mind. Let me share a little more about myself so you can feel like we're friends on this journey together. My name is Hazel, and from a very young age, I was drawn to the magic of languages. I remember sitting quietly and listening to people around me speak in different ways. The sounds, the tones, the way sentences flowed like music. It fascinated me how words could carry stories, emotions, and connections between people. As I grew up, I saw how English became one of the most important languages in the world. It opens doors to amazing opportunities. Better jobs, studying abroad, traveling without fear, watching your favorite movies and understanding every joke, reading books in their original form, chatting with people from distant places, and building friendships that cross borders. English is like a key that unlocks so many parts of life. But at the same time, I noticed something heartbreaking. Countless smart, hard-working, motivated people spend years trying to learn English. They fill notebooks with grammar rules, repeat vocabulary lists until their heads hurt, take practice tests over and over. And yet, when the chance comes to actually use English in a real conversation, many of them hesitate. Their heart races, their mind goes blank. Words get stuck in their throat, or they worry too much about sounding wrong. They can read English books or understand songs, but speaking feels like a mountain too high to climb. I have felt that exact same struggle myself when I was improving my skills in other languages. The fear of making mistakes, the worry about my accent, the frustration of knowing what I wanted to say but not being able to say it smoothly. It was real, and it hurt. That personal experience changed everything for me. I started asking deeper questions. Why do some people become fluent while others stay stuck even after years of effort? What actually works in the long run? Is it endless grammar exercises? Is it memorizing thousands of words out of context? Is it forcing yourself through difficult textbooks? For the majority of successful language learners, the answer is no. The real path to fluency is gentler and more natural. It happens when English stops feeling like a difficult school subject and begins to feel like a normal part of everyday life. That idea became the foundation of everything I do on Make English Easy. Every single episode I create is built around this belief. I speak slowly on purpose. I choose words and sentences that are natural but not overwhelming. I repeat the most important ideas many times, each time using slightly different words or simpler explanations, so your brain has plenty of chances to absorb them without stress. If something doesn't click right away, that's perfectly okay. Just keep listening. The meaning will become clearer as I explain it again in an easier way. I never want you to feel pressured or judged. This channel is a safe, supportive place where mistakes are welcomed, progress is celebrated no matter how small, and learning feels like a calm, steady walk rather than a race. One of the very first things I want to say to you, and I will say it again and again because it's so important, is this. You do not have to be perfect to speak English. Perfection is not the target. The real target is being able to communicate your ideas, share your feelings, ask questions, tell stories, and understand what others are saying back to you. Native English speakers do not expect you to sound exactly like them. They know that everyone has an accent. They know that small grammar slips happen even to people who have spoken English their whole lives. What they value most is your effort to connect. When someone tries to speak to them in English, even with mistakes, they usually respond with smiles, patience, and encouragement. So please, right now, give yourself full permission to make mistakes. See every mistake as a tiny teacher. When you say something incorrectly and then fix it, your brain builds a stronger path for next time. When you push past the fear and finish a sentence, even if it's not perfect, your confidence grows stronger. That growth is what fluency is made of. Now, let's dive deeply into the core of what I teach on Make English Easy. There are really only 3 main ways to reach true fluency, and when you understand them and apply them consistently, amazing things happen. These are not complicated secrets or expensive courses. They are simple, powerful principles that anyone can follow, no matter where they live or how busy their life is. The first way is to live inside English every single day. This idea is so central that I talk about it in almost every episode. Living inside English means English is no longer something you study for a set time and then put away. Instead, it becomes part of your environment, like the music in your home, the light in your room, or the air you breathe. Fluent speakers do not have a special English time that starts and stops. English is present from the moment they wake up until they go to sleep. It surrounds them naturally. If you are thinking, Hazel, that sounds nice, but I live in a non-English speaking country. I don't have English all around me. Don't worry. You have more power than you realize to create that environment yourself. It starts with small, easy changes that add up over time. For example, switch your phone, your computer, and your social media apps to English. Every time you check a notification, open settings, or type a message, you see and use English words naturally. Those little exposures happen dozens of times a day without any extra effort. Next, bring English sounds into your routine. Play English songs while you shower, get dressed, or prepare breakfast. At first, you might only catch a few words or understand the feeling of the song. That's fine. Your ear is training itself to the rhythm, the speed, the way words connect. Watching videos is another wonderful way. Start with short clips, maybe 5 or 10 minutes long, on topics you love, like cooking, travel, animals, or funny stories. Use English subtitles at first so you can follow along. Watch the same clip 2 or 3 times. The first viewing helps you understand with help. The second viewing lets you focus more on the spoken words. By the third time, you might surprise yourself by understanding more without reading every subtitle. Repetition like this builds familiarity fast. Channels and podcasts like Make English Easy are designed exactly for daily living with English. You can play my episodes in the background while you do household chores, take a walk in the park, commute to work or school, eat your meals, or even relax before bed. You don't always need to give full attention. Sometimes you listen carefully and repeat after me. Other times, the audio just plays softly while your mind absorbs the language passively. Both active and passive listening help. Your brain is incredibly good at noticing patterns, picking up sounds, and storing useful phrases even when you're not concentrating hard. The type of input that works best is called comprehensible input. Don't let the term scare you. It simply means English you can mostly follow and understand, even if a few words or phrases are new. It should challenge you just a little to help you grow, but not so much that you feel confused or exhausted after a short time. That's why I craft every episode carefully. I use natural, everyday language mixed with some richer words, but I always circle back to explain things in simpler terms. If a sentence feels fast or tricky the first time you hear it, just relax and keep going. Soon I will rephrase it, give an example from daily life, or say it more slowly. Your brain loves this process. It connects meanings naturally through context and repetition, the same way young children learn their mother tongue without ever opening a grammar book. A big mistake many learners make is switching sources too often. One day they listen to one teacher, the next day to a different podcast with a completely different accent and style. Then they jump to another YouTube channel. They believe more variety equals faster learning. But for building deep comfort and automatic understanding, sticking with the same consistent voice or two for a long period is far more effective. When you hear the same speaker repeatedly, your ear tunes into their unique way of talking, the pauses, the emphasis, the little filler words like, you know, or like. The language stops feeling strange and starts feeling familiar and safe, like talking to a friend you know well. The second main way to fluency is building a daily system rather than depending only on motivation. Motivation feels great when it's there. You wake up energized, eager to practice, full of ideas and enthusiasm. But motivation is temporary. It rises high some days and drops low on others. You might feel inspired after watching an exciting video, but then life gets busy, you feel tired, or something distracts you, and days or weeks pass without practice. If your progress depends only on feeling motivated, it becomes irregular and slow. Successful learners shift their focus from motivation to a reliable system. A system is simply a small, doable routine you follow every day, rain or shine, excited or tired. It removes the need to feel like it and turns practice into a habit as automatic as brushing your teeth. The best systems are short and realistic, so you can stick to them long term. Even 15 or 20 minutes a day done consistently creates massive change over months. Let me give you a clear example of a gentle daily system you can start using today. In the morning, after you wake up and while you're having your first cup of tea, coffee, or water, play one episode of Make English Easy for about 10 minutes. Just listen and try to catch the main message. No need to understand every single word. Let the language flow over you as you start your day. Later, perhaps during a break or in the evening, spend 5 minutes on shadowing. Shadowing is one of my favorite techniques. I say a sentence slowly and clearly, then pause. You repeat it out loud immediately after me, copying my pronunciation, my rhythm, my tone as closely as possible. Do this with 4 or 5 sentences from the episode. Your mouth gets used to making English sounds, your tongue learns new positions, and your brain links hearing to speaking. Finish with another 5 minutes of free speaking. Stand in front of a mirror, talk to your reflection, or record yourself on your phone. Describe your morning, what you ate, how you feel today, your plans for tomorrow, anything real from your life, using words and structures you heard earlier. That's the complete routine. Short listening for input, shadowing for pronunciation and fluency, free speaking for confidence. Do it daily and you'll see your speaking become smoother, your hesitation disappear, and your comfort grow week by week. Inside this system, use spaced repetition to make learning stick even better. Instead of rushing to finish one episode and never returning, go back to the same one multiple times. Listen today, listen again tomorrow or the day after, then return after a few days, then after a week. Each return strengthens the memory. What felt new and effortful at first becomes easy and automatic. Words, phrases, and sentence patterns move deep into your long-term memory. This approach is far more powerful than cramming lots of new material every day and forgetting most of it soon after. The third way is the triangle of fluency, my favorite way to picture the whole process. Imagine a solid triangle standing strong on 3 equal sides. Each side holds up the others. Remove or weaken one side, and the triangle loses balance and strength. Fluency needs the same balance. The first side is input, receiving English through listening and reading. This side fills your mind with examples of how the language really works. Vocabulary in context, natural sentence structures, common expressions, rhythms of speech. Without regular input, you lack fresh material to draw from. Your speaking stays basic and repetitive. The second side is output, producing English by speaking out loud or writing your own thoughts. Input provides the building blocks. Output lets you use them actively. When you speak, you test what you've absorbed. You discover what flows easily and what still feels awkward. You make mistakes, notice them, correct them, and improve. Speaking early, even when you don't feel ready, is scary but essential. That's why I constantly invite you in my episodes. Pause now and tell me about your day. Say this sentence in your own words. Describe how you feel right now. Don't wait for perfection. Start messy. The practice turns mess into smoothness over time. The third side is the system, your daily habit that ensures input and output happen regularly without depending on mood. Without a system, practice becomes sporadic. You might binge listen for 3 days, then do nothing for 2 weeks. A good system keeps the cycle alive every day, even if only briefly. When all 3 sides, input, output, and system, are strong and connected, the triangle stands firm. Input supplies language. Output activates it. The system sustains everything consistently. Together, they create steady, natural growth toward fluency. On Make English Easy, I weave all 3 sides into every video so you get a complete experience. You receive clear, rich input as I talk about everyday topics that matter to real people. How you start your morning, what you love to eat for lunch, how you spend weekends with family or friends, your favorite places to travel, dreams for the future, small joys like a good cup of coffee or a walk in the rain, challenges at work or school, feelings of happiness, tiredness, excitement, or nervousness. These topics help you practice language you'll actually use in life. You practice output through shadowing and personal speaking prompts. I guide you to repeat after me, then adapt the sentences to your own story. You build your system by returning to episodes regularly, perhaps choosing a playlist of 10 videos and cycling through them over weeks. Pronunciation gets special attention because clear speaking boosts confidence tremendously. English has tricky sounds for many learners. The voiced and unvoiced th, as in this versus think, the difference between short vowels, like in bit, and long ones, like in beat, the rolled or soft r, depending on accents, how words blend together in fast speech, going to becomes gonna. In dedicated episodes, I break these down slowly. I explain mouth positions, where your tongue rests, how your lips shape, how air flows. We practice words, then short phrases, then full sentences together. Shadowing turns theory into muscle memory. Over months, your pronunciation sharpens, people understand you better, and you feel prouder when you speak. For vocabulary, I avoid dry lists. Words stick best when learned in meaningful sentences. Instead of isolated definitions, I show usage. I feel exhausted after a long day at work. I'm so tired, I just want to rest. You hear exhausted and tired in context, feel their nuance, and remember them naturally. I introduce practical phrases too. How have you been? That sounds fun. I appreciate it. Let me think about it. Catch you later. These make conversations flow smoothly and sound authentic. Grammar emerges through examples rather than heavy rules. For past simple, I might say, yesterday I visited my grandmother. She cooked my favorite meal. We talked for hours and laughed a lot. You hear the pattern, repeat it, apply it to your own yesterday. Soon it feels instinctive. I also address the heart side of learning, the emotions. Shyness about accents is common. Remember, your accent tells your unique story. Native speakers value clear communication over accent perfection. Focus on clarity, and kindness will meet you. Forgetting words or freezing mid-sentence happens to all learners. More exposure and use solve it. Repeated phrases become automatic. I revisit favorites across episodes so they sink in deeply. Your comments mean the world to me. You share victories. Hazel, I ordered coffee in English today. My friend understood my story. I'm less afraid now. You ask for help. How do I practice alone? What if I plateau? I respond and sometimes create episodes from your needs. We're a community growing together. My deepest wish is that Make English Easy helps you use English in real moments. Chatting online, helping a stranger, enjoying media freely, advancing your career. Small steps lead to big freedom. If you're new, subscribe now. Turn on notifications. Start with one episode daily. Listen, repeat, speak. Be patient and proud of every effort. Thank you for being here. You're brave for learning. English gets easier daily when it's part of life. See you next time. Smile. You've got this.